All right, guys, welcome back, and we are finally getting back to working on the Arctic Cat here, and I got a whole box of parts for it. And well, I'm gonna be honest, I've had them for a little bit now, but I'm finally hopefully back to working on this and getting this thing finished and up and running is the hopes. So last night I have the carburetor here and this ultrasonic parts cleaner, or like a hot tank, or whatever you want to call one of these. And I did 3 cycles of the carburetor, and I know I probably should have taken the carburetor a little bit more apart, but it was just so like gunked up. And just, guys, this was like one of the worst carburetors I've seen. And so I just let it sit in there overnight, and you can still see it's a little dirty. Might have to even do a few more cycles, but it's cooled off now. And I'm just gonna go blow it off with the air compressor, and hopefully it starts to free up. And then I got a carburetor rebuild kit for it, and then hopefully this thing starts working again, because guys, this thing was horrible. Like the throttle blade right there, I couldn't even move the throttle at all. Like it was just totally like just seized up and stuck. So I'm gonna go blow it out and hopefully clear up some of the ports in it, and then go from there. So I'll catch you guys in a minute. All right, guys, so I got some of this stuff all cleaned out now. So the bowl is looking pretty nice now. And then for the carburetor, I mean, it's looking nice and clean, but for the throttle with the blade here, just like pushing on it, I still can't even get it to move. Like when it was hot, when it was in the hot tank, I got it to move, but like now I gotta use a flathead and pry on it, and like I still can hardly even get it to move. So still got a problem there, but I think the rest of it should be all cleaned out now. So if I can just get the throttle all freed up, I think I should be good to go. But the bolts were too stripped out on the top of this to take it out. But I'm just using simple green mixed with water in here. So, I mean, I think it'll be fine. I mean, I've never had any problems before. I mean, I've always done this to clean out my carburetors. And, I know people say that, like, the rubber will crack and stuff. But, I mean, I've never had any problems in the past. I mean, if I can take them apart farther, I will. But, I mean, this one, just, it's just too stripped out. So I'll have to throw it back in there and try and work the throttle more free, because that thing is stuck. All right, guys, so actually before I even put it back in there, I just took a flathead screwdriver and pushed on the blade there. And I know the lighting's kind of bad, but if I just push on it now, it moves just fine. So I don't know, it was just kind of stuck. I don't know if some stuff kind of was stuck in there and settled, but I mean, it's moving just fine now. And like, it's got really good response. So, I mean, seems to be working. So, I mean, hopefully it doesn't, stick again from sitting, but, I think I'm just going to start putting it back together now. And then, I think I got the rebuild kit right here. I don't know, I got to open up that stuff still and get all my stuff together. But I gotta clean out the tank next, and then hopefully the fuel system will be pretty much done, and then I can get my boot back on it, and then pretty much back together. And then I gotta work on the electrical, and then changing out the oil next. So I got a few things ahead of me, but let's get one thing done at a time. So let's get started on this. Alright, guys, so I got the carburetor rebuild kit right here. I went with Quad Boss one right there. So I'm hoping that it has everything that I need, and I guess I'll find out. So alright, guys, so I think I'm going to turn this into another video here. So I just wanted to go kind of and show you guys a more in depth of me doing the carburetor work. Alright, guys, so I got the carburetor all put together here, and so I got some new jets in there and a new bowl gasket on it and all that good stuff. So it should be ready to be put in, and I'm hoping I got these vents on the right side. Not too sure if it even really matters, but yeah, it's time to get this put in. and then I can hook up the throttle, which if we go here, yep, it's still working. And then I can get the cover on, and then the choke and the little throttle piece all put together. And then, I don't know, this is just the leftover stuff. I mean, I don't know. Didn't really need it. So, I guess I gotta get the tank out of the way first. So, let's get to cleaning this out. Guys, just look at how nasty this thing is on the inside. This thing might take a lot of work to get cleaned out, but let's get started. All right, guys, so I actually ended up having a friend come over, and we just kind of, went to town and just got it done. So, the carburetor's in there. I got the new intake boot on there, and that's all put together. Air box is all together. I cleaned out the tank and got that on there. I had to put a new fuel line on it. And then I'm hoping that the fuel valve, or petcock over here works. We cleaned it up, but I don't know if it's gonna seal or not. It was pretty rough, but at least it turns now and flows. I still gotta see if it'll leak, but I don't have any fuel tonight. And then go over here. Got the voltage regulator all installed right there, and I got a new battery put in it. And if we go up here and turn the key, you can see the lights and everything work. And then you hit the button, it turns over. So that is awesome. Really happy about that. The only thing is, I don't know where the battery holder went, so I'll have to find like a bungee cord or something like that just to keep the battery in the tray. And then we went ahead and drained the oil out of it. That's some of it. And then I filled up this gallon jug right there with oil. I think they take like 4 quarts. And as you can see, some of the old oil was still in there, but I got most of it changed out. And guys, that oil was horrible from sitting. That oil got all like separated and stuff. And guys, it was like almost just like water, which was horrible. Like adding the new oil in it almost made the new oil look like gear oil or something. Like it was just so bad. So I'm glad we drained it out. And then I got a new, oil filter put on. That's the cover right there. And so all that's done. I got a new spark plug in it. So, I mean, this thing should be ready to go. Throttle works, choke fully works, brakes should work. So I mean, this thing should be pretty much ready to go. My buddy checked the air filter on it, and I mean, that was all right. The mice weren't in it, so that's good. You pull it here, she has compression, so that's good. I mean, it might have dropped a little bit of compression since I originally compression tested it, just because I had some transmission fluid in there from previously freeing up the motor. But I mean, in theory, this thing, I mean, should start and run. At least I'm hoping. So I mean, I'll have to just get some gas tomorrow and see, but I really hope that it starts right up and actually runs. That would be just awesome, because from what I believe, I think this thing's been sitting for like 15 years. So hopefully get her up and going again, and then I can free up this room in the garage here, because I only got this one stall, and then make room for new activities and new projects. And you guys will see me try to start this thing tomorrow once I get some gas for it. So until then, you guys will probably just see it in a second. All right, guys, so I actually talked to my dad, and he did say that we had some gas. It's mixed with oil, but thinking about it, that wouldn't be overall too bad for this, because it hasn't ran in how long. So a little bit of oil in the gas would actually help lubricate it and get it going. So I put a little bit in, and so far it's not leaking. So I think I'm gonna put a little bit more in and try and start it. So let's see what happens. All right, guys, let's just see what happens. All right, guys, so it turns out that I wasn't getting fuel, so I just switched it to reserve now, and I was getting fuel to the carburetor. So now let's see if it starts. All right, guys, so I stopped because there is, I'm not exactly sure if it's gas or, yep, gas coming out of the exhaust. Not sure why that is. I already tried tapping on the carburetor a little bit to see if the float was stuck, and then I shut the fuel off, so I don't know what the deal is with that, but I mean, it should be getting plenty of fuel now, so I'll have to check for spark and then go from there. Guys, I found the problem. It was just me being dumb. Guys, I didn't even put the ignition coil back on the spark plug. So let me get this hooked up now, and then we'll see if it runs now that I have spark. So let's try that. All right, so now that it's all good and flooded, let's see if it'll fire up or do something. Wow, it almost idled too. So, I mean, wow, guys, it runs. So now I'm just gonna have to let it get warmed up and probably get some more fuel. And yeah, wow, I am surprised, but there you guys have it. I'm gonna play with it a little bit more and get back to you. All right, guys, so all I did was just take the choke off and start it again. And guys, it's actually idling and running. Like, guys, I am like so like impressed right now and like surprised. Like, wow. Now I think it's just burning off a lot of the tranny fluid from when I was trying to free up the motor and stuff, and you know, it just hasn't been ran in so long that's, you know, burning all that stuff off. But wow, guys, this thing might actually be a ripper, which just blows my mind. But this tire needs air, but I'm surprised that this is the only low one. All the other ones seem to be holding air, and you know, might also have just a tiny bit of an exhaust leak. But yeah, wow, there you guys have it. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed, and I might get a little riding video of it too, and this thing definitely needs to be cleaned, so you guys might see it again. But that's gonna conclude me fixing it up, so I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.